Happy Sabbath, family. It is good to be here with you again today. I'd like to bring a message about is this the end? And is this the end for us? Or is it the end of this world? So on this Sabbath, my topic is this the end? And I want to say happy Sabbath again, family. I love you so much. And I wish that we all would continue to pray for one another, especially reading our creed every day. It's very, very important. It's very important to read that creed every day. It empowers you. Words are very, very powerful. Before I get into the topic of the end, I would like to say we're living at a time now where God is dividing people. He's dividing families. He's dividing the wicked from the just. And if you're in a family and you happen to be righteous or believe in righteousness, you're going to be divided from your family. This is a time when the evil spirits are taking over human bodies. The Most High said in the last days that he was going to loose the evil spirits on the earth, the wicked evil spirits on the earth. So they're here now and they're taking over bodies, and they haven't just started. This has been going on for a while. I would say in the past 15 years, it's really, really becoming recognizable by people who are spiritual, people who know who their God is. Now, some of these people can be helped. If your loved one or a friend of yours has been taken over, how you would know it? Because they do things that doesn't make sense. If you're spiritual, you could see it in their eyes. When they're trying to hide and you look into their eyes, in a demon trying to hide from the person that is looking at them, they would seem to be like void when you look in their eyes, like emptiness. People who do not accept this evil spirit, who never did give it authority to enter them, they could be helped if they know that is something wrong. But many people don't feel like anything is wrong. They feel normal. And mainly because the evil spirit has taken over their bodies so long that it feels normal to them. But you could easily point out people who have these evil spirits in them. They cannot see logic. They do things over and over without learning from their errors or mistakes. They always like to be in the company of others. And you could tell an evil spirit if you are spiritually endowed. If you are spiritually awakened, you'll be able to see these evil spirits within these people. And some of them are loved ones, some of them are friends. And there's not much you can do. Now, if a person has accepted that demon spirit, it's like a waste of time trying to get that demon out of them, because they accepted it, and that spirit, that evil, is home, and he have a right to be there because he was invited by the owner of that body. It sounds weird what I'm saying, but oh, it's so true. So you pray that God would move the evil forces from your loved one or your friends. You would ask the Most High to bind up the power of darkness that come up against your friend or your family member. And you talk to the Most High about it. And sometimes that evil spirit can be banished from that body, but the person have to realize it's there and realize it's not them, that it's something living on the inside of them. So now I'm going to get on to our subject today, which is this the end? Okay. I'm in Daniel. I'm reading Daniel 12th chapter, and I'm going to start at the beginning. At that time shall arise Michael and the great prince who has charge over your people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never has been since there was a nation, till that time. But it is that time your people, but at that time your people shall be delivered. So now let's get this straight. And let me finish reading this verse. Everyone whose name shall be found written in the book. So everyone that is written in the book of life, they will be delivered. If at this time we're still in our flesh bodies, we are going to be delivered, physically delivered. We're not just talking about spiritually eternal life, but while we're in this flesh body, in the time, most people will admit that this is trouble like we never had before. It's happening. And God, the Most High God, he's going to walk with us through this. He's not going to allow us to go down with the world. 2. And many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some of everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Now, it doesn't mean literally that people are going to get up out of the grave, not literally, but people spiritually are going to arise to be judged. So that is what he's talking about here. They're going to arise to be judged. And those who are going to be ashamed are those who thought that Jesus was their God, a Buddha, or any other person that they pray to. They're going to be ashamed because they missed the boat. They're going to be ashamed because they thought that this God that they pray to was the Almighty God, and it wasn't. It's time to get it right, people. It's time to know your God for sure, your God, because there was a time in my life when I was sure that Jesus was the Son of God. Yes, I was blind like so many others. And little by little, I start realizing, no, Jesus is not the Son of God. That's not his name. And God told me, tell your people who they are. And then I started the search. And that's how I found out who we are. And I'm going to go on now. 3. And those who are wise shall shine like brightness of the firmament. And those who turn away to righteousness, like the stars forever and ever. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. That's where we are right now. We have more people that has come out and who recognize in their God than ever did before. All on the media, people are coming out claiming the Most High God, knowing who their God is. And I must say, because of those great souls that sacrifice so much to tell the world about us and who we are. I'm not going to call their names, but lately there's 2 of them that are very popular, and people look up to them, and they spoke out. And I want to say thank you to them for speaking out, because that helped raise the attention of who our God is. We don't have a lot of time. We got to work now. We got to plant seeds. And I don't mean go out there and preach on the corner to people who really don't even want to know, who don't want to know who their God is. He said, don't force my words. Don't force my words. Don't throw my words into the swine. The words are too precious to force on anybody. So, but he wants you to plant a seed whenever their door is open, whenever there's an opportunity for you to tell someone just a little drop about the Most High, do so. But many of us, we tell them too much and they get overwhelmed and they don't understand that and they are confused. So a baby, you have to feed them milk, right? Well, a newborn person who's just coming into his identity must be fed with milk lightly. Don't give them so much. Don't give them meat yet, because they can't chew it. They have no teeth. You give them just a drop. Every time you get a chance, you give them a drop. And then they're going to start searching eventually. And they're going to find the truth on their own. That's what we want people to do, to research. I don't care how much education you have or how little education you have. If you want to search and find your God, the Almighty, He'll open up that door for you. He'll show you how to do it. You just need the will to find Him. And I'm going to say another thing too, to make it clear. How do you know a person is serving God? How do you know if this person is godly or not? A person that is godly believes in righteousness. They believe in doing right things. A person who are not of God, they believe in doing whatever they want to do, or in wicked things and evil things. So God believes in righteousness. That's who He is, and justice. But the adversary believes in the opposite. And that's how you know a child of God, who a child of God is. I'm in 4 now. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book. I think I've read that. Until the end time. Many shall come to and for, and they're going to receive increased knowledge. So that's what we're doing now. We're receiving knowledge more than we ever did before. And we're searching for this knowledge. Then Daniel looked, and behold, 2 others stood, one on this bank of the stream, and one on the other bank of the stream. And I said to the man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the stream, how long shall it be till the end of these wonders? How long shall it be? How long shall it be before the end come? How long? Okay. How long shall it be until the end of these wonders? The man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the stream, raised his right hand and his left hand toward heaven. And I heard him swear by Him who lives forever, that it will be a time, 2 times, and a time and a half. That when shattering of the power of the holy people comes to an end, all these things shall be accomplished. They are accomplished. All these things are already accomplished. You know why? Because the chattering of the power of the holy people has come. Okay. Our power has been shattered. Okay. We have no power. We had no power. Now we do. And he said, when it's completed, when we are totally shattered, our power, meaning we're powerless. It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you are a child of God, you're going to be targeted. You're going to be targeted to be called anti-Semitic, or you're going to be called a hater, or a terrorist. Remember now, your adversary, he is the father of lies. So there's a lot of lies out there about the children of God, but it's coming out so much now. So many people are starting to find out and search and see if this is true. They've been hearing these black boys on the corner saying, oh, you're going to be my slave, and we're the children of God. You are fake. And they are going at it wrong. I agree. I that's totally wrong. He didn't want us spreading his gospel or his word that way. He don't want us doing that, because that's not the way it's going to be. If you are a child of God, you have to hold yourself up high, because you're going to be accountable for your actions as well as those who you are in charge of, your children, or the congregation, the people you're teaching, the seeds you're planting. So you must hold yourself up high standards because you're a child of God. We must show that he lives in us through the goodness and the kindness of our hearts. Okay, I'm going to go on now. I think I'm on 7. And the man clothed, no, I read that. I'm going to read that again. The man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the stream, raised his right hand and his left hand toward heaven. And I heard him swear by him who lives forever, okay, that it would be for a time, 2 times, and half a time, that when the shattering of the power of the holy people comes to an end, all these things shall be accomplished. So we're looking at the end right now. You know, our powers has been shattered and continue to be shattered because we disobeyed our God. But he said, when you come back to me, I'm going to come back to you. And this knowledge that we're receiving is bringing us back to our God. And he's back with us. Our time of slavery is over. It's time for us to take over. It's time for us to move forward with his kingdom of righteousness and justice. And be careful what you say on social media. I try so hard to be careful not to offend anyone, because I'm not here to offend anyone. And I'm not here to bring any group of people down. I'm just here to tell you who we are. I'm here to tell you, you are very important. All of you who are called African American, most of you are Judah. You may not know it. And Judah is scattered all over the world. And look who's coming to America. So many are coming right here, where they're going to meet us, and we're going to get together, and we're going to build a kingdom of righteousness. No one have any reason to fear us on trying to take anything. We don't have to. Our God has already prepared it for us. And I'm going to go ahead on and read this. So the shattering of his people's power has happened. So Now we know this is the end. And we could look for all kinds of things to happen now. But he said, don't worry. I'm going to hide you just for a little time until I bring my wrath upon the nations. He got us in his hands. We don't have to worry. I heard, but I did not understand. And then I said, oh my most high God, what shall be the issue of those things? And he said, go your way, Daniel, for the words are shut up and sealed until the time of the end. And this is the time of the end, and that's why books are being unsealed. Like the Book of Mormon, which I thought was a white group. I had no idea Mormon was a black man. And like the Book of Memories, the Book of Memory. And then you got the Book of Moses. You got new books being released that it wasn't always there. Okay. 10. Many shall purify themselves and make themselves white and be refined, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but those who are wise shall understand. Those who are wise shall understand. And from the time that the continual burnt offering is taken away, and the abomination that makes desolate is set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he who waits and come to the 1,330 days. Blessed is him. But go your way to the end, and you shall rest and shall stand in your allotted place at the end of the days. Now, some people think that this is the spiritual realm that he's speaking of. But this is actually the end time of our flesh time here on this earth that he's speaking of. When we're coming to these days that we don't understand, things are going to happen even to our loved ones. And no one have power to do anything in these end times because God is in control over everything. He's in control. Okay? The Most High God. So he says some of us are going to understand and be refined and go through the necessary training and spiritual growth that they need to exist. I'm going to tell you this. You are fighting for your soul, whether you know it or not. Because the devil is doing everything he can. And there are many devils, I must say. Don't think that there's just one devil. There's a whole lot of devils. I would say there are more devils than there are children of God. So what you got to watch, you've got to watch witchcraft, sorcery. These are the tools that people use now to destroy you. You have power over it, but if you're not confident in that power and you haven't experienced using that power that God has given us, then you're going to be defeated. But you have to keep moving forward, believing that the Most High is going to give you the spiritual growth to be able to stand firm up against all this evil on this earth. And we are going to be in pain because some of our family they're going to disown us because we don't believe in Jesus anymore. And they're going to say all kind of terrible things about us. They're going to say that we don't believe in God anymore because they think that Jesus is God. And that's what's been screwed into their minds. But I wish they would watch my video on, is Jesus going to return, or is it King David's offspring that will return? Because we were told lies, okay? We have really been messed up. And the Most High says in his word that we are incurable. We are incurable. But when time comes, he's going to free us of that pain that comes all the way up from generation to generation to the fourth generation. That pain is there. And our adversaries say they did nothing. Get over it. That's so many years ago. Why are you still dwelling on that? Get over it. Just like it's so simple. How can you get over something? It's just like if you had a sore on your hand, and that sore is still there and it won't heal. No matter what you put on it, it's getting worse. It doesn't heal. Well, that's the way it is when they say get over it. How could you get over something that is still painful, that is still there, that is still poking, that is still destroying, that is still bringing you down? How do you get over something like that? Unless it's settled that you're going to stop that, unless you admit you were wrong, unless you redeem us from what you have put us in and what you have done. And I'm going to tell you, until you, Gentiles, admit what you've done to the African Americans here in America, until you admit it, America, and I'm speaking to the government of the United States of America, until you admit that you was wrong and you repay us, which you can't repay us really, the pain is too deep. But until you make effort to solve some of this theft and pain that you've caused on our people, you will not rest. You will have no peace. You would have no strength until you clarify and correct what you have done to the African Americans in America. It's your time to suffer now. And God, the Almighty, is your enemy because of what you have done to us here in America. So until you repent and compensate for what you've done to the African Americans in America, you are going to get plagues. Your loved ones are going to be dying right before your face. And look what he says here. In, let me see where he said, oh, it is Zechariah, I believe it is. Zechariah, just one moment. And I'm going to read to you what he said he's going to do. Those who know God, those who know who their God is, those who pray to their God, who ask for forgiveness, who know the real God, those of you who know God, you Gentiles who know him and you worship him as the creator, you're going to be saved along with his chosen people. He says so in his word. But he says here, and this is Zechariah. No, I want Zechariah. Okay. Let's Zechariah. But anyway, I'm going to tell you, it's Zechariah, the 14th chapter. You could go and read it for yourself. But he said, all those that come up against the children of God, he said their eyes are going to melt in their socket. And he says that your tongue is going to melt. Your flesh is going to rotten. It didn't say melt, it say rotten. It sounds like cancer. He says your eyes are going to rotten in its socket. Your tongue is going to rotten in your mouth. Your skin is going to rotten off your body. Now, to me, that sounds like a plague. And he says all of those that came up against us, here it is, all of those that came up against us is going to go through a very, very horrific time. Now I'm going to read this right here in, this is Zechariah, the 14th chapter and the 12th verse. And this shall be the plague which shall the Most High will smite all the people that wage war against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall rot while they are still on their feet. Their eyes shall rot in their socket, and their tongue shall rot in their mouth. And on that day a great panic from the Most High shall fall on them, so that each will lay hold on the hand of his fellow, and the hand of one will he raise against the hand of another. Even Judah will fight against Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the nations about shall be collected, gold, silver, garment in the great abundance, and a plague like the plague shall fall on the horses, the mules, the camels, the asses, the beasts. So this plague is going to also destroy the food. It's going to destroy food. I mean, what you need to eat, and your horses you need to ride. So all of you who are Gentiles, find your God, okay? He's your God too. He's your God. He said in the end time, because of our disobedience, because we've been enslaved, because he allowed it to be. But he said in the end time, when we come back to him, he'll come back to us. And he said there are going to be those from the nation that's going to join us. So I know it's going to be not just God's children that's going to receive eternal life and you'll be saved from this end time, but it's going to be all those who love the Most High, who praise the Most High, who serve him to the best of their abilities. Those are the ones that shall be saved. I'm going to say shalom. I enjoyed talking to you on this Sabbath, and I hope that you receive something out of this message that will help you. And if nothing more, I love you. Shalom, shalom, family.